Let's see who comes up in here. The sativa was this. Let's see who will come up in here. Who's up in here? Who's up in here? Live Q&A, what up, y'all? What up, Dre Day? What's up, Quan? My blood ain't lit right. Hold on. I gotta light this motherfucker right. What's up, Dedication 666? There we go. Now it's more evenly lit. Live Q&A. No, we got in Brooklyn too one day. What's up, Markel Claiborne? Robbie Bean. Yeah, Baltimore booty, my head is shaped funny. It feels good inside your mama, you dig? Yeah, hit the like button on your way in. I wanted to come on and be live with y'all early on today, but I was busy as hell. Ended up kicking it with my uncle. I was supposed to drop something off at my uncle's house. Shit, I ended up kicking it. So I didn't get to kick it with y'all. Because I was with Unc. The Grammys ain't shit. I say this all the time, man. We need to pull our support from the Grammys. I do have some friends that won Grammys yesterday, you know? I do. J-Mo, he won a Grammy yesterday for his production and playing on Hotels with Jasmine Sullivan. So, salute to J-Mo for winning his Grammy. Charlie Burrell lost. I thought he should have won. I thought J-Mo should have won another one with Corey Henry, but at the end of the day, it don't matter. Fuck the Grammys. The Grammys ain't shit. You know what I mean? Because my thing is this. How is a group of people who created none of the music, how can they vote? How can they vote for music that they didn't create? That's what I'm trying to figure out. How do they decide when all of their music is just a watered down version of what we created? Rock and roll, all that shit. Heavy metal, we created EDM. That's why, like, I don't fuck with, that's why you see me. I don't give any tolerance to Eminem. Any credit, I said tolerance. I don't tolerate any of that Eminem goat talk. Oh yeah, it's good to see Christian McBride in. Yeah, I always give it up to Dizzy Gillespie. But yeah, I don't get good coverage back here. I'm gonna go back to the front. But that's why I don't fuck with Eminem. I don't fuck with Eminem. People are always saying Eminem's a top 5 artist. Look, I don't put Eminem in my top 175 rappers. You dig what I'm saying? I treat Eminem the same way they treat black rock and roll guitarists. That's what I do. I treat Eminem the same way they treat black rock and roll guitarists. Question: have any of you guys ever heard of Eddie Hazel? Have you guys have? I'm gonna ask that again. Have any of you guys ever heard of Eddie Hazel? Wait, hold on. Turn this goddamn light off. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. There we go. Eddie Hazel is one of the greatest guitarists ever. Ever. Eddie Hazel was the guitarist for Parliament Funkadelic. Eddie Hazel and Mike Hampton. Look up those two names. Eddie Hazel and Mike Hampton. Eddie Hazel's Funkadelic's original guitarist, and Mike Hampton came later in the 70s. Mike Hampton's still with Eddie Hazel. Eddie Hazel. Mike Hampton is still with Parliament Funkadelic. Still with him. What up, y'all? Yeah. Eddie Hazel, he played the guitar, like when it comes to heavy metal and rock and roll, when you listen to that early Funkadelic, like pre-1975 Funkadelic, they were basically a rock band. Because the Parliament was a doo-wop band from the 60s, Plainfield, New Jersey. They played that. Parliament originally signed with Motown to be they didn't sign with Motown. George Clinton got a gig with Motown, but he was in Detroit, and Parliament cut a few songs with Motown, but they couldn't quite cut it. So then what happened was, in the late 60s, early 70s, in the late 60s, the hippie movement hit. And when the hippie movement hit, Parliament, they had their name tied up with some record label dispute. So he created a new name for the band, and that was Funkadelic. And what Funkadelic was, Parliament was the original 5 doo-wop singers, Glenn Goins. I can't remember all the names now. Well, back in Plainfield, New Jersey, the kids were Eddie Hazel, Bernie Worrell. They were like 14, 15, 16-year-old kids when George Clinton was in his mid-20s, going into his 30s. And what happened was they became the band, and they became Funkadelic. But Funkadelic was inspired by Jimi Hendrix. And if you go back and listen to that early stuff, Red Hot Mama, Stomp, that Let's Take It to the Stage album by Funkadelic, it's a few albums that they had. They are straight up heavy metal. Straight up heavy metal. And then that's Eddie Hazel's guitar solo on Not Just Needy, the 15-minute version, the extended version. Man, Eddie Hazel's one of the greatest. Eddie Hazel is better than Van Halen, Eddie Hazel, and Mike Hampton. They better than Bon Jovi. They better than Slash. They was better than all them motherfuckers. Have you ever heard a white person mention either name, Eddie Hazel or Mike Hampton? No. But who did they all learn from? Eddie Hazel and Mike Hampton. So I say fuck them. I don't acknowledge them for shit when it comes to musicianship. Dope, because they don't play fair. I appreciate that by the time. I just love music, man. I love music, man. Like I love music too much to be a professional musician. I do my drum. Like I say, I played at church for over 20 years, and I have recorded a lot and I have toured, but I never made music my life's work because I love it. It's too close to my heart. I do other shit. So yeah, don't ever when it, yeah, kid, yeah, you know Scorpio 64, you know who Kid Funk is, yeah. And it's good to see. I think Kid Funk is back with Funkadelic, Parliament Funkadelic, because I hadn't seen him touring with them in a couple of years. My last time seeing Kid Funk, that's the last time seeing Kid Funk with Funkadelic was when I saw them back in 2016. When I saw them 2017, 18, 19, and 19, he wasn't with them. But and Kid Funk, for those of you who don't know, his name is Mike Hampton. He joined. The reason why his name is Kid Funk because he joined Parliament Funkadelic as a 16-year-old. And but I saw now for this farewell tour, he's back with them for the farewell tour. The greatest guitarist you'll ever hear in your life. But since he's with a black band, you don't hear his name. Hell, the coldest guitarist out right now is J-Mo. See, we got a look. Go back on this channel or my Instance International channel. I interview probably the best guitarist alive right now, Jarvis Mosey. I have an interview with him. Check it out. He's the one that won. He just won a Grammy yesterday with Jasmine Sullivan. I think that's his third or fourth Grammy. But black people, we don't even know who he is. So when we don't know who our greats are, that makes it so easy for them to take it. You know what I mean? But I'm going to tomorrow night. I love live music. Tomorrow night, I'm going to go see Butcher Brown at the Jazz is Dead series at the Lodge Room. I'm going to see Butcher Brown tomorrow. Lonnie Liston next month. I just got tickets to see Earth, Wind & Fire, War, and Santana. Nigga, that's how you reward the greats. You go buy a ticket to see them perform live. Oh, I'm Quanez. I'm glad you brought up Ernie Isley. Do y'all know that Jimi Hendrix was an original guitarist with the Isley Brothers? Before Jimmy died, see, Jimmy was doing that rock in the mid '60s. That was his last album as a rock guitarist. Jimmy was gonna come back to the United States and go more into funk. And he was gonna be with the Isley Brothers and do a lot of stuff, but he died. And Ernie Isley learned some of his guitar chops directly from Jimi Hendrix because he's a family friend. So when you listen to the Isley Brothers and that's like that song, Who's That Lady? That's where Jimi Hendrix was going. That's where he was headed. When you listen to Fight the Power, we listen to Who's That Lady, all that stuff, those guitar solos, that's the direction Jimi Hendrix was headed before his untimely death. Oh yeah, Ernie's daughter's a dope artist. That's Alex Isley. That's her name. See, Vesey. I played. See, y'all see Quan. Tell them, y'all gotta get down on my Incense and Ashtray show. I know it's a lot to download a new app, but if you download the app, Mixcloud, I promise y'all won't be y'all gonna be satisfied. Cause I play the good old music and I explain it. And I play the whole song. I don't go, every now and again I may cut a song. If it's like a 10-minute song, I may cut it down a little bit short. But other than that, 98% of the time, I play the whole song. So the Mixcloud show, and you can play Mixcloud in the background. So like when y'all driving to work, turn on my Mixcloud show and listen to that shit like y'all did the radio back in the day. I run that shit like old school radio, where I drop the music and I drop facts, and then I let it be. So I need y'all to go ahead and do that. Oh yeah, Gary Clark Jr., that's another one. Gary Clark Jr. is dope. He's alive. He's another black man, one of the dopest guitarists alive. Marvin Gaye won 1 Grammy. That was for Sexual Healing. And if you ask me, Sexual Healing was the worst of all of his hits. The I Want You album, shit. That album by itself deserved 10 Grammys. Leon Weir should have got a Grammy for producer of the year for that one. God damn, the instrument, music for the music behind it, nigga, the songwriting. Shit, come on now. But Ronald Isley, he never won a Grammy. The Isley Brothers never won a Grammy. The Isley Brothers is the only group to have a #1 hit in 5 straight decades. The Isleys went #1 in 5 decades and haven't won 1 Grammy. Fuck that. Yeah, Trouble Man soundtrack. Yeah. Let's Get It On album. My 2 favorite Marvin albums is Let's Get It On and I Want You. Those are my 2 favorite. Maze never won one. You're right. Snoop never won one. If you put a list to the artists who've never won a Grammy next to those who've either won none or only 1 or 2, that side, I mean, I would say no Grammys and maybe 1 Grammy. Put that next to the people who won 3 or more Grammys. And I guarantee you the list of people with under 2 Grammys to none is way better than those who won. And that's why I say, fuck the Grammys. Parliament Funkadelic didn't win a Grammy. How the P-Funk ain't gonna win a Grammy? I think they ended up giving like George Clinton Parliament like one of those like lifetime awards. But Parliament Funkadelic didn't win no Grammys. War never won a Grammy. Out of Compton. Nigga, Lakeside never won a Grammy. Confunction never won a Grammy. Everybody flipping out over Silk Sonic remaking Confunction. But Confunction never won a Grammy. Cameo never won a Grammy. Come on now. Zap never won a Grammy. Check me on this one, but I don't think the Spinners ever won a Grammy either. The Dramatics never won a Grammy. Who else never won a Grammy? Man, the list is so long. I don't think Isaac Hayes ever won one. No, they gave one for that Shaft remake, I think, when he remade Shaft. Fuck out my face with a Grammy. Earth, Wind & Fire, I think Earth, Wind & Fire won a couple Grammys. I know they won a Grammy for Running, for the instrumental of the year for that song Running. I posted Running on my Twitter yesterday. I always say if you want to know how, because Earth, Wind & Fire had music from around the world through our interpretation. If you want to know how music sounded in Moorish Spain in about the 10th century, fused with 1976 soul, listen to that song Running by Earth, Wind & Fire. Especially when you get to the second half of the song. When they get to the musical breakdown. That's how music sounded in Moorish Spain. So, Songs of the Key of Life to me is my greatest album of all time. Go look at my mixtape. I broke down Songs in the Key of Life yesterday. I'm telling y'all, Quan has she put it in the chat. My Mixcloud, that channel's fire. I decoded Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life last night. I played most of the album. I didn't play every song, but I played most of the songs. And I talked about meanings behind the music. And I also gave some factoids on how some of that music was put together. So if y'all want to know some details, go to my mixcloud.com/DwannB. Let me see if I can pin. Yes, no, I'm over here trying to pin Quan S's comment. And this shit saying report. No, I don't want to report her. Hello? Hello? Live chat. The fuck, can y'all see me? Hey, Quan, you still there? Cool. Okay. because I thought I hit the little thing trying to pin it. I'm on my phone. It ain't let me pin the comment. It told me to hide you from the channel. Like, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to hide. But I'm gonna be on my Mixcloud more because I have a lot of albums I want to decode. I have a lot of music I want to decode. It's a lot of gems that a lot of you guys missed that was dropped in the 70s. It's so many gems in the music because the music. Here's a change I'm making to the channel, and not too much of a change, but a slight change. I have a lot of work on this channel already of explaining to you guys how it was stolen, how it was taken. So I'm not going to spend too much time re-explaining what they did to us. I'm going to spend more time in the future highlighting it, bringing it back out, and showing you the messages within it and why they had to do what they did as far as taking our music away. It's going to be a lot more reaching back to show you the messages that black people were using for mental food back then and bringing it back out. You know what I mean? Versus, because I already have a lot of work out here already explaining how it was taken. I'm the kind of person I can only talk so long about how somebody did something wrong to me. I can only talk so long about how they stole from us. I'd rather spend more time being constructive and how can I say this? Rebuilding what they tore down. You know what I mean? I don't know how y'all feel about that. I hope y'all feel good about that. But I'd rather spend more time, and I still will bring up, when they tear. I still will mention times, and if the stories are relevant, on how they tore shit down. But I think I have at least. I got at least 5 or 6, 7, 8 videos. That means I got at least 10 hours of content explaining how they stole our music. At least 10 hours of content. Probably more. I probably got 16, 17, 18 hours of content on how they stole our shit. 10 hours is more than enough time, to talk about that. Yeah. Yeah, Mickey Howard was dope. Mickey Howard was dope. What's up, Sylvester? So was that Sinister? But yeah, I got but I think my next album, I think next I'm going to decode. I think I'm going to do a show pretty soon on Gamble and Huff. Do y'all know who Gamble and Huff is? Y'all know Gamble and Huff? A song with Robert Glasper and Kami, yeah. See, Gamble and Huff don't really get enough credit. PHI, Philadelphia International, they talk a lot about Motown. And Motown was great, don't get me wrong. Motown was great. But the primary reason Motown gets so much, the primary reason Motown gets so much attention was because Barry White did a great job of documenting everything. Like, if you want to talk about telling your story, Barry White's a living example. From the early 60s on, Motown had pictures, Motown had people filming. It's some documentaries my dad has on VHS tape that Motown filmed back in the 60s on itself. So Motown has always filmed itself. That's why they've gotten the most attention. It's because they've given themselves the most attention. Philadelphia International, let me tell you right now, PHI, Philadelphia International, they were just as hot in the 70s as Motown was in the 60s. That's some part that people don't understand. Philadelphia International, early 70s to early 80s. That run was just as good as Motown's run in the 60s. Philadelphia International gave us the OJs. It gave us Teddy Pendergrass, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, the Jones Girls. It gave us, oh my God, we can't, it's so many. Gambling Huff pumped out so many hits that decade. That story needs to be told, but they didn't document it. Yeah, they did the Soul Train theme. That was that song, that Soul Train theme. That was called. Oh, I forgot what they ended up renaming it, but that was supposed to be called Soul Train theme. Like we really, like black folks, we really don't understand how dope we are. Like, and we don't have like it's our history of invention, but I mean our music. Because unfortunately, my generation, us millennials and Gen X, like, here's how it happened. And this is why, like, I always warn the adults about talking shit about the children's music. Try to understand it before you talk shit about it. Because this is the thing that we do. The new generation, the old generation always shits on the new generation. So what happened, I was a little kid back when this happened, but I remember it happening. You had the people my parents' age, the baby boomers, people in I would say 60s and up, mostly 70s and 80s now, but 60s and up. There was a divide right there between adult contemporary R&B and rap. So the cats in the 80s, the people who for the most part were like 30 and up in the 80s, they would always talk shit about rap. They shitted on rap. I mean, anybody 30 and up in the 80s totally shitted on rap. BET didn't play rap videos. Motown refused to sign the Rap Act. Like, niggas got hella arrogant on rap. Niggas really, really shitted on rap. So what rap had to do, rap had to insulate itself in order for it to grow. Rap had to go into a cocoon and like create a hard shell. And when you get to like 1983, 84, there's just like a hard line between 82, 83. There's just a hard divide between those coming up listening to that first generation of rap and those still listening to Barry White. It was a hard divide right there. So I'm telling you the story for a reason, so follow me. I'm explaining how hip hop got sectioned off and how we play a role and how we played the primary role in that, and all the white supremacists did was come along and play along the division that we as foundational black Americans created. You know, it's good to talk about the good, but we got to talk about the bad too, so we don't repeat the bad. And that's the only reason why we're doing it. So when you get to 83, 84, the adults are just shitting on rap, just shitting on it. And so the rap heads are like, the adults are like, that ain't no real music. It ain't no live instruments. It's just a record player. That ain't no real music. Turn that boombox off. So that's what was going on. And the people who were really into rap, the kids at the time, the people now that are entering their 50s and 60s, the ones entering their 50s and 60s, they were the kids at the time, the teenagers. They was more into hip hop, into rap. And so what happened was, in order to protect their sound, it basically became, this is young people music, and that R&B and funk, that's grown people music. But mind you, we dealing with an age difference of maybe a 15-year-old and a 28-year-old. And rap became kid music, and R&B became old people music, like right there, like around 1983, 84. So rap, hip hop cocooned itself and sectioned itself off from the music family tree. And you're going to see this in my music tree that I'm about to put out. Rap and hip hop sectioned itself, rap hip hop sectioned itself off intentionally and became some thing over here. And so I remember coming up in the 90s, and I remember in the 90s, that's when I got into Parliament Funkadelic and Lakeside, all that funk shit, because I was teaching myself how to play drums. So I'm kind of growing up between two worlds. I'm in the rap age, but the music I listen to the most is 70s funk, because as a young drummer trying to teach myself how to play, rap and hip hop is too easy. A break beat, that's just boring playing over a break beat. So I discovered the old school station, and I heard the Ohio Players, and that shit changed my life. The Ohio Players, that song I Want to Be Free by the Ohio Players. I heard that drum solo Diamond played. I said, shit, that's how I want to sound. And at the age of 14, that's what the fuck I started listening to, mostly. But I still listen to a lot of hip hop. And so being a 14, 15-year-old kid in the middle of the 90s, listening to 70s music, niggas always called me weird. Why you listening to that old people shit? But they didn't talk too much shit because I had better jokes than them. I just clowned the fuck out of them. So niggas knew not to go too far. But niggas called me weird for listening to 70s and 80s music. Like, what the fuck are you doing? That's old people music. And I'm telling these niggas it's the same music. Because when Dr. Dre released The Chronic, oh shit, that's P-Funk. That's the Mothership Connection album. Then I'm listening to Rappin' Forte drop With the Rhythm It Takes to Dance To. I'm like, hold on. That's that Funkadelic album that I just bought with my money. And so I grew up knowing and seeing rap and hip hop and funk and disco was the same thing. But because the rap fans were so cocooned off into their own world, they refuse to listen to their parents' music. So the rap niggas is thinking they hearing some shit new. And I'm like, nigga, this is the third remake of that. And so with rap sectioning itself off the way it did from the rest of the music family tree, that allowed space for these outsiders to come along and play along the division that they have now. The reason why the division right now exists, the schism exists, the reason why the white supremacists can get these Jamaicans to say that they created hip-hop is because hip-hop fans growing up just looked at hip-hop as its own separate thing. And I used to always be like, hip-hop can't be a separate thing because hip-hop, 90% of hip-hop relies on music from the 70s for a hit. Shit, without the music, it's just poetry. Tupac is just a poet, nigga, without Dr. Dre and the music that he's sampling from 1973. So that is how we've got to the point right now where these other cultures can claim hip-hop. Because we as a FBA culture, Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, mostly under the age of 55, under the age of 50, treated hip-hop as if it was some separate thing created in New York in 1974, which isn't true. The truth is it's a child of funk and disco. Disco and hip-hop was created the same fucking year. Love's Thing came out in 72. So disco, somebody in the chat room look up for me, Quan, can you look that up for me? The year Love's Thing came out by the Love Unlimited Orchestra, aka Barry White. Tell me what year that came out. Love's Theme by the Love Unlimited Orchestra. It's either 1972, 73, or 74. It's one of those years. But you gotta, funk really 1968, 1968 funk. Okay, Love's Theme, 1974. That's your first disco song ever. What year did hip hop come out? They say, what's his name created it? 1974. Disco and hip hop are the same fucking age. But they'll make you think disco is some old ass genre and hip hop is something separate. What do you think EDM is? Disco, techno, disco, house, disco. Eurobeat is disco. See, niggas they don't teach it to you this way. Eurobeat is disco. Disco is alive and well now. Pop music is disco. Disco ain't dead. What's up, Jeff? That's real talk, Jeff. We were at a hell of a generational war in the 90s. And that the fallout of that generational war was a kid saying, I'm gonna take hip hop over here, and the adults saying you can have it, because I got my oldies over here. And that allowed the white supremacists to play along that line of division. And now you got these Jamaicans saying they created hip hop. When if we explain how the music was created, and truthfully, there's no way you can separate hip hop from disco and funk and soul music. So what's up, Goran? So remember that our family, our music is a family. It's a family of music. It's family. Disco and hip hop are the same age. Funk is only 6 years older. Disco never died. Stop. That's another thing we gotta stop. That's what the white supremacist tells you. Disco didn't die. It evolved. It changed form, and it became a white form of pop music. 80s pop, Madonna, that's disco. All that 80s pop, Blondie, Madonna, all those 80s pop acts, that was disco. Don't let them tell you disco never died. That was a moment in Chicago White Sox Park when they broke up them records or some shit. That was a moment in time. Disco, what happened was, in 1979, they snatched disco from black people and gave it to white pop artists. That's what happened. That's right, Larry. Can't kill what we create. If y'all see, I'm telling y'all, if y'all had the Mixcloud account, I played Chic and how Chic evolved into Madonna. I explained that whole breakdown on my Mixcloud show one of them days. Disco never died. Disco's alive and well right now. Have y'all heard of a genre called K-pop? Disco. A mixture of disco and 90s R&B. That's what K-pop is. Disco and 90s R&B. Disco is alive and well. Yeah, Tears of Fears. See, Lady Hotep, that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that point up. She said that's why old school rappers sometimes get disrespected by new school rappers. Let me tell you something. That's rap paying a price for its disrespect of what come before them. That's what that is. Because at the end of the day, your elders are your elders. You know, rap was very disrespectful to the elders. And I understand why that first generation was. I understand the first generation being disrespectful. But when you get to that second generation, the second generation of rap is when Snoop, Outkast, Nas, that's that second generation of rap. Them, what did they say on what did Warren G say on Regulate? He said drums, bass, keys. We brings none of these. Basically saying, we ain't doing all that shit, man. And so that's really that. Rap was very disrespectful to anything. Oh, hell, back in the 80s and 90s, anybody who rapped over 30, they said once you got to 30, you're supposed to retire from rap. Y'all remember that? You were supposed to retire at 30 back in the day. Rap was very disrespectful. So the OGs in rap are kind of getting what they put out. Yeah, listen to Gil Scott-Heron. But I've been in the Gil Scott-Heron for since I was 16. Home is where the hatred is. I can't sing. But what's up, BB? Yeah, Mixcloud. Yeah, the 90s was a hella disrespectful era. Don't get me wrong, the shit was funny as hell. The shit was still funny, but the 90s was hella disrespectful. The 90s was fuck you and your mama and all that. 90s was hella disrespectful. Let me see. Yeah. Hold on. Yep. Gil Scott-Heron is one of the fathers of hip hop. Let me see. He said they're Latinos. And until the people who, and this is what's gonna need to happen. This is what's gonna need to happen. One of two things, hopefully both. But one of two things needs to happen. And this is the only foundation of Black Americans are going to keep hip hop through eternity. The only way that's going to happen, listen to me right now, that we're going to keep hip hop in our grasp through eternity is if hip hop bends the knee and openly and constantly acknowledges its soul music, its blues, its jazz, its funk, and its disco roots. Because hip hop is an amalgamation of all of our genres put in one. We're gonna need the rappers to do it, the top rappers, your Kendrick Lamar's. Chuck D already does it, but we gonna need the Godfathers of rap to do it, Nas. I don't expect shit from Jay-Z. Jay-Z gonna do whatever the fuck them white Democrats tell him to do. So I don't expect that from him. But it would be nice if he did. But the real OGs of rap, and then the average rap fan, the everyday rap fan is gonna have to acknowledge its roots in the blues and in jazz and in funk and in disco. Snoop does it. Yeah, Snoop does it. Snoop is one of the greatest ever at it. Ice Cube does it. Cause remember, Ice Cube, see, this is where I gotta get a West Coast credit. This is where I have to give the West Coast credit. Ice Cube, Snoop, Dr. Dre, they actually used the originals. What do I mean by that? When you listen to What's My Name, Snoop, when you listen to What's My Name, Snoop's introductory hit, Snoop Dogg, and you know who that is singing background? Doggy Dog. That's one of the original Mary Jane girls, nigga. It don't get no more soulful than having a Mary Jane girl singing background on your shit. That's why Doggy Style was so funky and the Chronic. Because they had the OGs. Cube had George Clinton on Bop Gun. That's how I found out who George Clinton was, through Ice Cube's Bop Gun. He had Too Short, Sample the Funk. Yeah. So here on the West Coast, I would like the South and the East to do that. The East Coast need to get off that ego shit. Them East Coast rappers, your top East Coast rappers need to start putting on some dope young cats from your city. Like, that's not happening right now on the East Coast. LA doing it. Oh, Tina Marie, she's one of the greatest. But this nigga, the South don't do it like they used to. But the South does it better than the East Coast. Like Jay-Z, this nigga jumps around cities and uses whoever's hot. He sort of, the way, and Jay-Z, and Larry knows how to explain that better than I do. I saw it, but Larry can explain it better than me. But Jay-Z jumped to state property. He jumps to whoever's the next hot sound and kind of milks them for 3 years and then moves on to the next. He didn't really boost nobody like that. Well, Drake, not Drake, what's his name? Yeah, Drake does that, yeah. He's a wave jumper. And that's a problem. Nas just kind of stay in his own world. Nas don't wave jump. Nas ain't really putting up. Nas just does Nas. But this nigga Cube this nigga Snoop got a reputation out here in LA. He watch out for the young niggas. Do you know the resurgence of live music right now? What do I mean by the resurgence of live music in LA? I mean, the best jazz act in the world right now is Kamasi Washington, Hamilton High School here in LA. The greatest bass player in the world right now is Thundercat Watts. The best guitarist is J-Mo, Long Beach. Terrace Martin is one of the hottest jazz acts in the world. I mean, the Free Nationals, Anderson .Paak, all these niggas are out of LA. But you know who I give credit to really getting the things popping for them? Snoop. Snoop Dogg. Yeah, Ryan Porter, trombone. Cameron Graves. The Bruner brothers. I mean, when it comes to live music, it's happening right now on the West Coast. On the EDM side of the game, Flying Lotus. I mean, it's so much like grease and soul coming out of LA right now with the live musicians. But I gotta give, Robert Glasper, he's from Texas. He out there with Larry, but he be out here with these LA niggas. Chris Dave just moved back to Houston. But Snoop Dogg. Anderson .Paak lived here in LA. Listen to me. He'd spent the time in Oxnard. His music comes from LA. Leimert Park. That's where the music is. Leimert Park. As a matter of fact, if you don't want to listen to me, I'm going to interview one of the Free Nationals next week. The bass player, Kelsey. I'm going to interview Kelsey, the bass player from the Free Nationals, backing band for Anderson .Paak. I'm going to interview him on Incense and Ashtrays next week. But going back to what I was saying about Snoop, in the late 90s, early 2000s, when Snoop went on tour, Snoop took Kamasi Washington and Terrace Martin on tour with him. Yeah. Snoop is the one that opened the door in the music industry for the cats that are now renowned as the world's greatest jazz acts. Hip hop and jazz. See how it comes full circle? You see how it comes full circle? There's a revolution in jazz right now. And if you think I'm lying, Kamasi and the West Coast Get Down sold out the Hollywood Bowl last summer. The Hollywood Bowl seats 18,000 seats. So don't let nobody tell you white folks stole jazz. Black people have jazz back, locked down right now on the West Coast. And the dope part about it, with Kamasi's band, he has DJ Battle Cat in the band. This nigga's band got a choir, an orchestra, 2 drummers, a rhythm section, and DJ Battle Cat. Now, I'm not taking calls because I'm on the phone right now. So, yeah, it's the hip-hop that opened the door back for jazz to reemerge. And is re-emerging in the West. Jazz started in the South. It got to its height in the East, and is re-emerging in the West. Right in front of our eyes. Yeah, Kamasi got DJ Battle Cat. Yeah, Battle Cat's in Kamasi's band. Look up Kamasi, Washington. They have I'm trying to get in to interview them. I know some of those cats, but I want to interview them to get that story on wax, on paper. Like, when Kamasi came out with his album, The Epic is 187 minutes long. It's a 3 album, if you're on records, it's a 3 album, 3 CD album, if CDs were still around. They recorded The Epic, Thundercat, Terrace Martin, Ryan Porter, all those brothers. Who else was? I think Flying Lotus was in that too. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on Flying Lotus. But all of those West Coast cats that are like, they put their money together and they rented a studio out for 30 days. Listen to what these black men did. Listen to what these black men did, because they did what we've been saying needs to be done, and this should happen 10 years ago, right up under our noses. Terrace Martin, Ryan Porter, Thundercat, Kamasi Washington, all these cats put their money together. They rented out a studio for 30 days. And in 30 days, they all played on each other's album. They all did an album, and they all played on each other's album. That album that Kamasi did out of that, because Terrace Martin, he's bubbling. A lot of these cats are bubbling. Mind you, these are the same backing musicians who did Kendrick Lamar's album To Pimp a Butterfly. That song, This Dick Ain't Free, that saxophone solo, that's Kamasi Washington. That's Terrace Martin on How Much Dollar Costs. That's Thundercat on If These Walls Can Talk. He co-produced that. But these cats got to where they got right now by putting their money up and recording their own albums and releasing it. And Kamasi's album, The Epic, that took them worldwide. Yeah, Brandon Coleman, Leon Mobley, Tony Austin, yeah, them brothers. Yeah, Charles Wright and the Watts 103rd Street Band. Hey, Larry, that's the genius, his homeboy. Charles Wright is the genius, his homeboy. They be talking about a whole bunch of ignorant shit. So yeah, understand that jazz has been reborn, and has been reborn by the foundational Black American out of Los Angeles, California, Crenshaw District, nigga. I have a show on this channel. Go back and look. I have a show with, type in on this channel, type in Kamasi, Washington. I did a whole show breaking down how the West Coast is taking, how jazz is back in black hands. I've already done that show. Look it up. I really broke it down too. Yeah, Chill Withers was a good album by Craig. Smoke Sitter say, you learn about Thundercat playing GTA? Smoke Splitter's first time in a strip club was on GTA also. This nigga Smoke Splitter be going into GTA strip club as Trevor. Feeling on the girls. That was your first lap dance, wasn't it, Smoke Splitter? Yeah, so, and if you're in LA, look up the Jazz is Dead series. Jazz is Dead with Adrian Young. Adrian Young's another one. When it comes to music of today, come on now, Adrian Young. Him and Ali Shaheed Muhammad be putting out some good music. I think Josh said he got a Sim City. Yeah, nigga. So we gotta know this shit is alive and well right now. What questions y'all got? Yeah, Battle Cat. I gotta hear that. I can't wait till that Mount Westmore album come out. I think that's dropping at the end of this month. Mount Westmore with Too Short, Snoop, Cube, and one more. Who else is in that? It's Too Short, Snoop, Cube, and one more person. E40, yep. I appreciate that, Quan. Yeah, download the Mixcloud app. See, when it comes to jazz, I do jazz. Look, I can't. I get why you will say Thelonious is the greatest ever, and I would never argue with anyone saying Thelonious Monk is the greatest ever. But look, it's so many great jazz artists out there. I can't put a greatest on it, man. I can't. It's so many. Like, I would say when it comes to piano, the pianist I listen to the most is probably Oscar Peterson. Because I love Oscar Peterson. He's actually from the Caribbean, born in Canada. Oscar Peterson. He's not FBA. He's from the Caribbean, born in Canada. But he's one of the greatest pianists ever. This man, because he was trained classically. I recommend y'all look up the song. People who got the Mixcloud show know this song. But look up this song by Oscar Peterson called Wave. If you wanna have like a musical bath, listen to that shit. But Oscar Peterson's piano chops, the pianist I probably listen to second most is Herbie Hancock. The pianist I listen to third most is probably Chick Corea. He passed away last year. I saw Chick Corea live about at least 15 times. So I don't know. I like Thelonious too. And my favorite, Count Basie, man. Come on now. I listen to Count Basie probably at least once a day. It's just too many great jazz artists for me to ever put. I can never say one. Yeah, I've heard of Hiroshi Suzuki. Yeah, so I don't. Yeah, jazz, man, shit, because it depends on the mood I'm in. If I love big band jazz. So if I'm listening to big band jazz, I'm gonna play some Duke. I'm gonna play some Duke too, but I'm going to Count Basie. Man, I love Count Basie. When I want to hear some big band, when I want to hear some trumpet, I'm either gonna play Clifford Brown and Max Roach. Clifford Brown was a great trumpeter, man. He died at the age of 26 in a car accident. Oh, when it comes to drummers, I'm listening to Max Roach, man. Shit. It just depends on the mood I'm in with jazz. Do I want to listen to some fusion? Do I want to hear bop? Do I want to hear, big band? Do I want to hear? It's just, man, jazz is a world. He said, who was a jazz player and band who had a song called Wind Parade? That song Wind Parade was by the Blackbirds. That was by the Blackbirds. I'm drawing a Donald Byrd. Donald Byrd and the Blackbirds. Donald Byrd was a professor at Howard University, and he had some students that had a band called the Blackbirds, and he put them on. Yeah, but that song Wind Parade, that's by the Blackbirds. Again, that's another song that you will hear on Incense and Ashtrays. That song is also on my playlist. You know I got 2 Spotify playlists, right? I got 2 Spotify playlists. One is my funk soul mix. One is my soul jazz mix. Wind Parade is on my soul jazz mix. Man, I love the Blackbirds, man. BB, do you want some Mixcloud jazz sessions? If y'all want, let me know, Quan. Y'all the regulars. BB, Quan. If y'all want some Mixcloud jazz sessions, I'll definitely do them. Let me know, cause usually I'll mix jazz in the sets. But if y'all want a straight jazz session, I'll do it. I love Joe Sample. Rest in peace. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do a jazz. I'll probably do a jazz one. I was gonna say tomorrow night, but not tomorrow night. I'll probably be watching 5150 when we done with Craig Facts. I'll be watching 5150, so I ain't gonna be doing no jazz breakdown while 5150 on. Randy Crawford. Yep. Okay, cool. I'll do a jazz maybe Wednesday. The next one of my next Miss Clouds. I'll do a jazz breakdown. I love Horace Silver. Lady Hotep, yep, that's a music bath. Listen to the song Wave. Well, that whole album by Oscar Peterson, the album is called Motions and Emotions. It came out in 1968. And it's Oscar Peterson with a full orchestra. I love that shit. Okay, cool. I'm my next Mixcloud, I'm gonna do jazz. I'm gonna do jazz. That's what I'll do. And y'all know with these Mixclouds, like again, even if y'all don't listen to them live, if you especially if you drive to work, you got like a long drive to work, traffic, or if you drive a truck, these Mixcloud sessions are perfect for you. Instead of listening to Spotify, listen to my Mixclouds. Well, you can listen to Spotify some other day, but when you driving to work, listen to my Mixcloud live music breakdowns. It's just like how the radio used to be, except for we ain't got no commercials. It's just live music. It's just music. And I don't even talk. Look, here's the best part about my Mixcloud. I don't even talk that much. I do all my rambling here on YouTube. On Mixcloud, I don't even talk. I talk a little bit. Yeah, man. Are you a postman? You roll all day, so yeah, my Mixcloud is perfect for you there. And he said, "You call me borderline autistic. That's funny as hell." Yeah, I don't know how I have it. I don't know. It just comes that way. It just comes that way. See, when I was younger, I used to. Let me tell you something. I don't do this no more because I don't watch basketball like I used to. But when I was in my 20s, I remember years and what happened that year based on what happened with the Lakers. For instance, I used to be like, okay, yeah. I remember that year my grandmama took me to Dallas for the first time was 1988. No, it was 1989. And I know it was 1989 because the Lakers lost to the Pistons in the finals. And that's how I remember my grandmother took me to Dallas in 1989 because it was a summer right after the Lakers lost. I remember our first time going to Las Vegas with my parents was 1985 because 1985, my dad had his T-shirt Lakers champions 1985 on. And I remember that shit. And I remember going to Vegas with my parents in 1988 because when the Lakers won the championship against the Pistons, it was a rainstorm going on in Vegas and it was lightning and shit. And I remember my mama opening the window saying the Lakers, screaming the Lakers won while it was lightning. And we was like, Mama, get back in here. I was like 7. So like my memory, hey, fuck you for saying I'm borderline autistic. Because as I'm talking, you might be fucking right. Like I'll be like, okay, yeah, 1995, that was the year that Shaq lost to the Houston Rockets. And so, yeah, so that was the year that I got my first pair of Reebok pumps because I got them 2 weeks after the Rockets beat the Orlando Magic. So a lot of my memories as to what happened in a particular year is tied to whoever won the NBA championship that year. I'm nerdy as shit. Nah, I didn't get no pictures from Austin. But hell yeah, I remember that shit. I remember 1994 because that's the year the Rockets beat the Knicks, and that's the year the OJ chase happened because the OJ chase happened during Rockets versus Knicks. I remember 1998. That was a push-off shot with Michael Jordan versus the Utah Jazz, and I remember that shit too because that was the year Lauryn Hill's album dropped. What's that? The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill? That was the year that dropped. And I remember Baduism dropping 1997 Bulls versus Jazz. That's just how my memory worked. Uh, yeah, so what other courses you niggas got? Oh, and Marcus Miller's gonna be at the Newport. The Newport is kind of whack because the Newport Jazz Festival don't like you bringing your own coolers in. I don't like going to Jazz Festival. Look, when I go to the Jazz Festival, I gotta have my fucking cooler and my chairs. Me and the wife be chilling. That's why I just got an email today saying the Long Beach Jazz Festival is gonna be on August 12th. I can't buy tickets this far out because I don't know if we're gonna be on the road with Craig Facts that day. But as we get closer to the date, shit, I'm going to that Long Beach Jazz Festival. If we ain't on the road, see, I could sneak it in a purse. No, but this is what you don't understand. When you went to jazz festivals in LA, you want your whole cooler set up. Like Guardian of Jazz Festival is a guarantee I'm gonna be there. I bring my cooler, man. You put the alcohol on the bottom of the cooler, because they don't ever dig through all that shit. You just put your alcohol, you just put your vodka in water bottles, put it on the bottom of the cooler. Nigga, hey, y'all wanna know a funny story? Hey, I'm gonna see if Larry's still in here. Y'all wanna know a funny story? This is about Larry. I don't see if that nigga still in the chat room. He was in the chat room earlier. Y'all wanna hear a funny story about Larry? This nigga, I didn't know Larry was allergic to apples. So we go to Jazz Fest West. Jazz Fest West, and this was the last year they had it. I'm mad. That shit used to be fun. This year at Jazz Fest West, they had Mint Condition performed, Charlie Wilson, the OJs, and Jill Scott. Dope ass lineup. Mint Condition, Charlie Wilson, the OJs, and Jill Scott. So I make this, when I go to my jazz festivals, I make this jungle mix. And I put it in a bottle of Hawaiian Punch. And in the Hawaiian Punch, I put peaches, plums, grapes, and apples. And I mix that with some juice, a fuck ton of vodka, and some triple sec. This drink is loaded. I don't know Larry. Yeah, the one of San Demons, yeah. By Raging Waters. I didn't know this nigga was allergic to apples. So I sliced and diced them apples up and put it in the jungle juice. Nigga, Larry we all having a good time. Uncle Charlie on stage. And I see Larry kind of slowing down. And I look at him, and this nigga Larry looking like he about to pass out. Boy, I started laughing so hard, I was like, Larry, you look like you about to pass out, but more so than that, you look weak as hell. So I started laughing at this nigga real hard. Luckily for him, he didn't pass out. And he ended up drinking a whole bunch of water, and he was good. But the look on his face for about 15 minutes was funny as hell. Oh, there he is. The look on his face, oh shit. Hey, Larry, you looking so goddamn weak. Oh my God, that shit was funny as hell. Hey, nah, he didn't have a pen. Quan, fuck him. Hey, Quan, you know why I say fuck Larry? This is why. This is why I have no remorse for this nigga. This is why I have no remorse for this nigga. We stand where I stay right now. Right upstairs. I ain't gonna show y'all where I live, but right here, I used to stay up there. So I went to Vegas and I got sick in Vegas. Cause it was like, this is one of them years that it snowed in Vegas. Like, it actually snowed in Vegas when we got there. And I got sick as hell. This like what, Larry, when was this, like 2013, 12? It's like 10 years ago. I got sick as hell. Larry, at the time, was staying out in Moreno Valley. 2011, okay. Damn, that's 11 years ago, shit. Larry staying out in Moreno Valley. Moreno Valley's kind of on the way home from Vegas. So I picked this sorry ass nigga up. Because we had a show out here in LA. We both had a comedy show. So instead of him going from way out there, he just came and stayed with me. Then we were supposed to do the show the next day or something like that. But I was sick. And I was coughing. And every time I coughed, like I was coughing real hard. Like I had a really bad sinus infection. And I'm in the room coughing. And every time I cough, Larry would laugh. And every time I cough, he laughed louder. And so I'm in there, so I'm sitting there coughing, and I'm like, and it's some evil coughs too. You know those coughs that be like, it's them kind of coughs. And Larry's in there dying laughing. And then in between coughs, this nigga Larry says, "Hey nigga, you sound like you about to die in there." And then started laughing his ass off to the point I could hear the nigga crying. And every time I cough, this nigga's crying louder. So, fuck Larry Goodwill. So when this thing happened with him and these apples, this is 2 or 3 years later. I see this nigga busting out in the hives. I'm like, yes. Choke, nigga, choke. Ooh, ooh. I don't know what was more entertaining. Uncle Charlie dancing, or Larry looking like he about to croak, nigga. I'm sitting here thinking justice at last, nigga. Nigga said his neck was itching. Yep, your neck was itching. And I was like, every time you were scratching your neck, Larry, I said, that nigga looking like a little monkey over there. Get this old chimpanzee looking ass nigga out of here. And this before Larry had the beard. So this nigga really did look like a chimpanzee because Larry got long ass arms. Larry is shaped like the men's restroom logo. Next time y'all go to the bathroom and it say men's restroom and you see that dude with the square shoulders and long ass arms, that's Larry. This nigga Larry is the men's restroom logo, nigga. Just a T-squared, skinny ass, Arab ass, hoe ass nigga. Fuck Larry Goodwill. Hey Larry, I was sick as fuck that day you was laughing. You don't know how sick I was, nigga. Look, I had the coronavirus twice. When it first hit, before it became a popular thing, I had the coronavirus in 2019. I had it then. And then I had it again this past December. And that first one was kind of a doozy. That second time I had it was nothing. But neither of those had me as sick as that time I opened my goddamn apartment to Larry to stay for the night so we can go to a fucking show. We got comedy business to handle. And I'm in there coughing sick as fuck. And this nigga is having it sounded like Def Comedy Jam in there. And another time, I'm gonna tell you another reason why I said fuck Larry Goodwill. I'm gonna tell you another reason why I said, man, Larry Goodwill can kiss my black ass. I used to do edibles real hard. I used to I had gotten to the point to where edibles wasn't really doing nothing for me. So one day at the crib, I ate a whole brownie. Usually I had eaten a whole one before, but this is before edibles got, right now, edibles are regulated. The shit, edibles now tell you, okay, 500 milligrams, 200 milligrams, whatever. This is back in the days when it would just say, eat 1/4. Recommended dose is 1/4. But the 1/4 never got me high. Half didn't get me high. So this one day, you say high, then I ain't hiding from no goddamn body. Y'all niggas know how I look. Shit. What am I supposed to do? Turn the light on and burn my eyes with this joint in my hand so you can see me? Nigga, please. Nigga, I'm high. Yes, Lady Hotep. I ate a whole brownie. And I'm good at first. We watching NBA League Pass. And I started leaning to the side. And this nigga Larry looked at me and started laughing. I'm like, what you laughing at? He said, you all right? Yeah, nigga, I'm good. The fuck you talking about? Nigga. Then I was like, hey, Larry, man, hey, make me some coffee or something. Maybe that coffee can help. This nigga made that coffee. That coffee got me higher. And then I was like, nigga, let's just go get something to eat real quick. So we rolled down to the spot. We get something to eat. And nigga, when we got back to the crib, all I know is we was watching the Lakers. And them niggas started running fast as fuck. And it was getting me dizzy. Hey. So, this nigga, I started like stumbling. And this nigga Larry's laughing his ass off. I'm like, hey man, I might need help to the room. This nigga Larry like, I ain't helping your fat ass nigga, and fell out. I had to be high to ask for some help. I had to be really fucked up I don't ask nobody for help for shit. This nigga Larry like, I ain't holding your fat ass nigga, and fell out laughing, dog. And I had to like almost crawl to my room to go to sleep. Nigga, I wake up 3-4 hours later. I walk out to where Larry's sitting. This nigga Larry look at me like, nigga, you didn't die yet, nigga? And started laughing his ass off. I'm like, nigga, I tried to watch the basketball, the ESPN, tried to watch ESPN, nigga, I was done. You right, Letty, that nigga mad because he can't see my face, nigga. Hey, I hope that wasn't a dude asking me why don't I have a light on. I hope that wasn't a dude asking why they can't see me. Nigga. And I hope you ain't using your imagination either, nigga. Like I hope you watching like basketball or some shit and I'm just talking. If you a grown ass man, that's what you should be doing. Like, nigga, I'm telling y'all right now, I be listening to Tariq's broadcast. I do. But nigga, I be listening to that shit while I'm playing 2K or watching basketball. I'm not gonna just sit there and look at a grown ass man like that the whole fucking time. Now, if it feels like 3-4 people on camera, then yeah, I watch. But nah, I be listening to that shit on my phone, playing NBA 2K, nigga, or while I'm driving. The nigga said thinking about jazz. Nigga Larry said Fun Boy affiliated. I be playing Madden too, yeah. I be playing Madden listening to Tariq. I ain't about to put that nigga on my 75-inch TV and just be looking. Nah, I'm good. It's a good brother too, man. But now, if it's something he put on camera, I'll look down because I be playing it on my phone. If it's like an article he's sharing, I'll look down to see the article real quick, then get back to playing 2K or driving or whatever I'm doing. This nigga said, why ain't you on camera? Nigga, you want to see my beard line up, nigga? Nigga. Man, he's gonna say, I'm on 2K right now. You dig it? I feel you. I'm over here. When I'm done talking to y'all, I'm gonna make a new intro for my show. Basically, I'm gonna do some shit, showcasing my merch. And I got some other things to do. I got some shit coming for y'all. I'm gonna make, when the music family tree come, how many of y'all are interested in NFTs? Because I'm gonna sell 2 versions of my music family tree. Well, I'm gonna sell multiple versions. I'm gonna have the free one, just something that you can just download to your computer wallpaper. That should be free. But for those who want to support, I'm gonna have the music family tree on a canvas and poster. And then I'm gonna do a different special edition that I'm gonna sell as an NFT. I don't know how much yet. I gotta wait and see. But when I sell it as a canvas, I'm gonna sell it in multiple sizes. I'm gonna sell it in the 18 by 11, and I'm also selling that 36 by 28, that long portrait. I'm gonna sell it on canvas, roll up poster, and T-shirt. And I'm also gonna do maybe a 1 of 100 NFT for $10. Yeah, but I'm also gonna do a moving art one. When instanceandashtrays.com is up now, right now it's basically just a landing page for my Mixcloud account. But that instanceandashtrays.com is actually being built out. And again, let me tell y'all again, I thank you motherfuckers from the bottom of my heart, for real, for supporting what the fuck I do. I don't want whatever y'all support, I've put that right back into this shit. Anything that I make off what I do here, I put that right back into here. It's no time to waste. I just re-edited my book, but I put all that shit right back into this. So Incense and Ashtrays is actually getting built out. I'm going to have a weekly concert blog where I blog concerts that I've been to. I'm going to have music reviews, current and past. And I'm going to specifically focus on bands that play with a live sound. That's going to be my specific focus. It could be rap. It could be neo soul. It could be adult contemporary R&B. As long as they have an authentic sound that's not relying on auto-tune, I'm going to showcase them. Sorry about that. And also, I'm going to have Incense and Ashtrays interactive music tree. The same music tree, I'm going to have it to where you can click on each genre, and then I'm going to have factoids about every genre on the tree. So it's going to be something that you can actually use it to teach other people. I'm not just putting it, you're going to see this shit. When I put this tree together, it's not just me running my mouth. You're going to see with the interactive tree, you're going to be able to see how these arts evolved from us. On one section, I have reggae, and I have dancehall under the umbrella of disco. See, when people see dancehall under the umbrella of disco, they're going to be like, what the fuck? That comes from reggae. No, dancehall did not evolve from reggae. Dancehall evolved from disco. When disco took over the world, the dancehall sound came with a new beat. Reggae evolved off of soul music. Dancehall evolved off of disco. But on an interactive tree, you're going to be able to see how that happened and the artist that made it happen. Yeah, I'm going to do some stickers too. I appreciate that, Darrell. I appreciate the Cash App. Yeah, I'm gonna do the free, the shirt too. Yeah, I'm gonna do it on a shirt. But the tree, the actual music, I've been done editing the tree now for about a month and a half. I just have my graphic designer. He's taking his time, and I'm not rushing him because he's doing some dope shit. It's not going to just be a regular looking tree. This tree is going to have a message. This is going to be the tree. This is a tree of a black woman with a whole message inside her belly. So the tree, not only is it facts, but it's art. I'm putting a lot of love into this, man. And a lot of money, too. A lot of love and a lot of money. I'm already at least $1,000 into this tree. If I include the books that I bought to make sure that I'm right, that I reference, because I bought some out-of-print books, I'm at least $1,500 into the tree. And that doesn't include the website. The website's a whole nother bucket of money. But the tree itself, between the graphic design, the research that I did, I'm at least $1,500 into it so far. I'm gonna tell you something about LA cats when it comes to like our production stuff. Or when we put stuff out, we like that shit to be right and neat. I don't want to put out no bullshit. I don't want to put out nothing to where y'all first impression is I half-assed it. Like, get the shirt, but also get the canvas, get the poster. Hey, this is gonna be some shit you want to hang in your house. I'm telling y'all right now, this gonna be some shit you gonna want to hang in your home. People gonna come over your house and be like, "What is that?" It's gonna be a whole ass conversation piece. I'm telling y'all right now, this gonna be some shit y'all want to hang up in your home. Either in a framed up in a, get the poster version and put it in a frame, or the canvas. Y'all gonna want this shit in your house. I appreciate the Hotepish hoodie. Y'all know that Hotepish design? That Hotepish logo? Everything else, my man Joe Fox, for the most part, do for me. But the Hotepish logo, I designed that myself on Canva. I had just bought Canva that same day. My first time ever using Canva. I was high as hell, like I am right now. I had probably smoked 3 straight. At the time, I was on joints. I do hemp papers now. I smoked 3 straight joints. I was high as hell. And I sat down at Canva, and I started fucking around with different fonts. I think that was like the third font that I found. Then I just thought about, let me do an Ankh and Ma'at. Because Hotep-ish, because the Ma'at, the Hotep-ish logo, the reason why I have Ma'at there, because Ma'at equals balance, the equal sign. And that's really what I mean, that when I say Hotep-ish, it's a balance. I love my black brothers and sisters and all that shit, but I'm also extremely ignorant, and I like talking shit. Like, talking shit's one of the look. You niggas don't understand how much joy I get talking shit. That shit is fun. Like, when I call Larry, the first thing I say is, I'm gonna beat your ass, nigga. Partially because it's true. The second time, I just like talking shit. Like, I love telling my wife how short she is. That should be fun as hell. Like, I like talking shit. So that's why I have the Ma'at there. And then I just figured the Ankh. You know, why not put an Ankh instead of a T? That's it. I don't really have any deeper meaning than that. I think an Ankh could be cool versus a T. But then my Ot was put there for a specific reason. The balance of the sophisticated side of me. Yes, I understand a nigga could be scholarly. Yes, I understand I could remember and teach and all that shit. But just as motherfucking scholarly as I am, I like talking shit. So that's why that my Ot is there. JL said Coke brought people together. That's funny as hell. Coke. Looking for E? The first one upstairs. Like, What movie would I like to see? What black artist? I don't know. They usually be fucking people over in the artists in these movies. I want to see something done about the eyes. It's two groups that's done a horrible job documenting themselves. That's Frankie Beverly and Maze and the Isley Brothers. I don't care if it's a movie or a documentary, but I need to see more about Frankie Beverly and Maze and the Isley Brothers. I'm telling y'all right now. Let me give most of what I like when I be giving y'all factoids about Frankie Beverly and Maze. Do y'all know that most of that comes from a memory back like in like 1997, 98? Frankie Beverly did a weekend. He did a show on 103.9 KACE. He DJ'd the show for like 4 hours. And I listened to the whole show. And in between songs, he dropped facts about Frankie Beverly and Maze. And I recorded it on my tape deck. And I probably listened to it one time and I lost the tape. But most of the facts that I bring y'all about Frankie Beverly and Maze comes from memory of that one interview in 1998 on KACE 103.9. Like when I talked about how like they were a band from Philadelphia that came to LA and they were named Raw Soul. I found that out on that interview. I found out what broke them out was Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye was the person that put them on. I found that out in that interview. And so when I be saying that shit on Instance and Ashtrays, that's just memories from that one interview. It ain't shit about the goddamn. It's hard to find anything about Frankie Beverly and Maze out there. It is hard to find anything about them. Yeah, that's what Anwar. People that put caps out without explaining it was on their mama's nipples until they was 8 years old. All right, have a good one. That's what I think about people who throw out caps without explaining what they talking about. You was still on your mama's titty when you was 8, nigga. You was biting your mama's saggy nipple as an 8-year-old. You was a nigga that was in the stroller with your feet touching the ground. Oh yeah, Miles didn't give a fuck. Yeah, that's one thing. Like, Ramon, you right about that. That's one thing that I always, like, however my career end up and what I do, I've always looked at Frankie Beverly and Maze as the guide. I remember on that same interview, they asked Frankie Beverly, who would you interview, who would you do a song with, if you could? And Frankie said we would do a song with Sade, and we do one right now. But the reason we can't do it is because she's under management. He said Frankie, Beverly, and Maze is self-managed. And I remember hearing that. And then I've seen Frankie, Beverly, and Maze live at least 20 times. But when you go and see them live, the amount of love the people give them, it's like, man, I'd much rather have a Frankie, Beverly, and Maze following than some pop following. I don't need white people to follow me. If white people like me, that's cool. If other groups, if Mexicans, Asians, if they get down with what I do, cool. I ain't tripping. But I ain't trying to look for them niggas. I want the streets to fuck with me. Black people. Like Frankie, Beverly, and Maze. Regular ass niggas. That's the crowd I fuck with. Yeah, hey, a DeBarge miniseries would be cool, but that'd be low-key depressing. Because they'd be talking about they daddy butt fucking all them niggas. That would be, a DeBarge miniseries would be very interesting. But it'd also be very depressing. I always cringe when I think about what happened to them DeBarge boys and girls. Yeah, that Beyonce remake was trash. You say it's about a record player? Hell yeah, I would interview Three Stacks. The question is, will Three Stacks interview with me? Yes and yes, I'd interview Three Stacks. If I knew any way on earth, in the heavens, how to get in contact with him, I'd interview him. Shit, I wish I could interview. That'd be a dream interview to interview Three Stacks. But shit, I don't know that brother. And I don't think I know anybody that knows him. And if I did, I still probably wouldn't even ask. I should have done at least 20 or 30 interviews by now. My biggest issue is I don't ask. I don't like bothering people. But back to the Grammys, man. The Grammys ain't shit. Remember that. The Grammys ain't shit. How can people who have done nothing but take the seasoning out of our music judge our music? All of their versions of our music is just our music sped up with no salt and pepper, no grease. Like, white music is vegan Negro music. It ain't got it. I'd more than love. I'd more than love to interview Three Stacks. I want to interview Three Stacks, Ice Cube, Paula Patton frying chicken. See, that's what you niggas that want these mixed chicks. A lot of you black niggas love your mixed chicks. Y'all love to say you got a chick that's black and white, black and Puerto Rican and Venezuelan. Niggas love they mixed chicks. Telling y'all, man, marriage is more than about a look. You gotta live with that motherfucker. And now you done got your mixed chick, and she frying chicken like Paula Patton. Now, Paula Patton fine as hell, so, sometimes exceptions can be made. I get it, brothers. If she's a 10, okay, I get it. I get it if she's a 10, brothers. But y'all be settling for mixed chicks that are a 7. Y'all be settling for mixed chicks that she's really a 6, 7 maybe. But you got her because she's a mixed chick. And now she frying chicken like Paula Patton. And you mad. When you should have went with the black woman who was a 7.5. Nigga, no, she wasn't an 8 because your ugly ass don't qualify for an 8. A lot of you niggas need to know a 7 is your max. But no, you wanted the mixed chick, who was really a 5. I mean, I'm giving y'all too much. Your mixed chick was a 4.5, 5.2, somewhere in that pocket. Let's just tell the truth. Your mixed chick was a 5.2. She looked like a bacon-wrapped Rosie Perez. She looked like, you know, the little frozen treats, the little hot dogs in a blanket. They come frozen, the little frozen. That's how your little Beanie Baby stuffed Puerto Rican and Puerto Rican and white chick. And she frying fish like Paula Patton. Frank Green, you must not have heard when I said I can make an exception. Is she Paula Patton fine as hell? So I can make an exception there. Today. You gotta listen to me, Frank Green. I said we can make an exception for the 10s. We can make an exception for the 9s, maybe. But yo black ass, the best you gonna get, not you, Frank Green, but these niggas that be going for these interracials, the best you gonna get is a 5. Because them interracial chicks at a 8 and 9, they ain't gonna be with yo working at the factory ass nigga. So I see it all the time. These niggas getting these interracial chicks that are 4.3. And then by the time they get to 30, they at 3.4. Then by the time they get to 50, nigga, you either divorced or you just don't give a fuck anymore. Meanwhile, that black chick you passed up on, she 52 years old, looking the same way she was looking at 32. And here you are with bacon-wrapped Rosie Perez bragging about 20 years ago when y'all got together, how she was the shit 20 years ago. Shit. Now she's looking like a member of Dunkin' Donuts and frying chicken like Paula Patton. That's a message to you young niggas. Don't. All that glitters all that glitters ain't gold. And again, but if you got with Paula Patton, then what the fuck can I say? Nigga, you with Paula Patton. Shit. If you were Paula Patton, you just said, all right, baby, let's just go ahead and go on out and eat tonight. Yeah. I made reservations. Yeah. I made reservations over there at Dantana's. Yeah, we got reservations over at Dantana's. Yeah. That's come on, Paula Patton. Oh shit. Did my shit freeze? Did this shit freeze? Did this shit freeze? Okay, yeah, it did freeze. I guess my battery going low. Well, it look like my battery low. I'm just out here talking to you niggas. But you better get with a chick. They got your best interests at heart, brothers. Don't go for the okie doke. Yeah, I think my phone battery going dead. That's why it is. Yeah. I gotta keep this shit on by touching the screen. If I don't touch the screen gonna go black. Yeah. You niggas go around getting, that's what I say, you go around. At least if it's Paula Patton, you can just be like, you know what, baby? Just go ahead and sit this old unseasoned ass chicken down. We got reservations over at the Cheesecake Factory. Like, it's okay, baby Paula Patton. Okay, but again, most niggas ain't getting a Paula Patton. You ain't getting that. Yeah. Do I go jazz hands and soft tail? Usually not. I've been. But usually on Monday night I'll be at the Improv, which I still might go to the Improv. Hey, yeah, it's 11 o'clock. I think I'm headed to the Improv. Say what's up to them niggas. Hey, my phone going dead. I'll holler at y'all later.